Hey Renee, can you hear me?
I'm sorry for arriving late.
Hey, how are you?
I'm okay. And
Good.
can I share you my Comp One
Yes, go ahead.
draft?
Do you want to share screen?
I'm actually sharing the files right now.
Okay.
Okay, let me
I see the screen.
let me read the let me read my
Mm.
I actually shared. Okay, where I am today was unimaginable more than 2 decades ago. This is my learning with challenging barriers personal essay.
Mhm. Do you want to start at the introduction paragraph?
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Where I am today was unimaginable more than 2 decades ago. My educational journey started at home with my Filipino parents and big sister. Together with my ever supportive family, I faced challenging barriers along the way with great hope and perseverance. As with many immigrant families, our personal and cultural strengths and values guided me and will continue to build my educational journey. I am grateful for all the communities, professionals, and the nation state statues who support and protect people with special needs.
Mm.
How do you
Um,
feel about this introduction?
it's a good one because in just a couple of paragraphs, I know your story. I'm not so sure about the thesis statement though. Um, so you know what the thesis statement is, right?
Well,
It's a last sentence in the introduction paragraph where you kind of give a reader a hint about where your story gonna go, right? So I know that you're facing a lot of barriers and you have a supportive communities around you, and you feel grateful for that. But what does it mean, right? How, does that contribute to you as who you are, and will it help you in the future?
yes.
Yeah. So I want how grateful you are, but we can fix it later after we go through the essay.
I was born in Vancouver, Canada and grew up in San Jose, California. From an early age, I had difficulty communicating and interacting. Breaking the language barrier is the first significant strategy that was used by my family in collaboration with my teachers. The first
mm,
person who patiently taught me how to communicate is my mother. She is a professional nurse who collaborated with adult people with special needs. Growing up
mm,
with bilingual parents, my family talks to me in English only to avoid confusion on my part. English is the language
mm.
I have learned and had been using since I began talking. Over time, I've learned some Tagalog words used by my family and Japanese words from the internet.
All right. Now, here we need a topic sentence, right? A topic sentence is a quick summarize of what you are about to say in that paragraph. You started with, I was born in Vancouver, Canada, and grew up in San Jose, California. That give a reader a background, but doesn't say much about all of the details that you share afterward, right? Um, it feels like your main idea for this part is about the language you're using.
Yep.
Yeah, so make it a topic sentence, right? Um, what is it that's significant about the language you use? Your family using the language um, other people, right?
Yes.
And how does that affect you? Is it why you like language? Is it why you learn Tagalog and Japanese by yourself?
Um, I'm not fluent in other
Mm,
languages other than English yet.
mm, mm. But do you like it?
Of co- of course.
Yeah. So why do you think you like language that much?
Um, uh, I'm not sure, but
Mm. Seeing here is your family plays a significant value into language, right? It helps you to overcome the not sure. It seems like it affects into. I mean, it helps you to develop the interest in language in general. It seems like you learn Tagalog and Japanese by yourself, right? You learn it from listening to your family and from the internet, right?
well, yes.
Mm. So yeah, you have the idea here. Just make the first sentence the main idea, the so that people know that you're gonna talk about how language affects your life in this part. Does it make sense?
Well, yes.
Mm. So do you want to move on or do you want to?
I'm still trying. I'm still reading.
Mm,
Strong family ties, hospitality, gratefulness, spirituality,
mm,
politeness, and jolliness, and sense of humor and resilience and adaptability are some of the prominent Filipino traits. The family is at the center of the Filipino community. The values that Filipinos put in caring for one's family is one reason overseas Filipino nurses and caregivers provide their patients and clients with a prominent level of care. Despite
mm,
the economic hardships and natural calamities, among others, Filipinos are persistent enough in helping each other get back on their feet. They can adapt to
mm.
any type of environment and culture all over the world.
mm,
My parents worked hard to give me and my big sister a brighter future. I valued education since childhood, since because our parents still instilled in us the value of education. They showed
mm,
us the way by having completed their college degrees and successful professional careers. My big
mm,
sister completed her bachelor's degree at Seattle State University. This inspired me to go to college despite many of the challenges.
mhm. You did a very good job here when you share a story about your parents and then your sister and how it affects your decision in the learning journey, right? Um, mm, but for the part where you're describing the Filipinos' values, I can see the values there of as a community, but I haven't seen how does it affect you as a person. What values that you adopt? How how did it help you in a education journey?
Well,
Mm,
um, well, many Filipinos like me do
mm,
care about uh, their own family.
mm, from it.
They have strong family ties.
Mm. Do you do you like have a strong family tie?
Of course.
Does it help you in any way?
Well, yes.
In which way?
We- Well, um,
Okay, so now if you want, you can also connect the two paragraphs, right? So you spend the first paragraph to talk about the Filipino value to each other, right? And then you can start, yeah, you can start talking about your parents. Does it does it work? What do you think?
well, well, um, of course. Uh, um, my my family. Of course, I am. Of course, I feel close to my family, especially my mom, and they would they would have stayed traumatized with me for pretty much
Mm,
the majority of my life.
mm. Yeah, so put the transition between the two paragraphs to connect the Filipino community to your family, and that should work.
Mhm.
You get there? Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on. I
Mm,
attended special education classes from preschool through high school. I was able to attend a few mainstream classes along the way. This had limited my reading, comprehension, and writing skills. I also graduated from post-secondary classes after high school and work experience at local community. By attending special education, I learned some academic and life skills. I learned to read and write in school and at home. As I grew older and getting more mature, I learned to read and understand more relevant and complex information.
mm,
Although some of my memories in primary and elementary school are vague, I return to my school and meet some of my teachers and important educators. Let's continue. As I am a visual learner with artistic nature, my parents bought me simple books with colorful pictures to appreciate and understand while learning. My mother read short stories at night. My parents attended all my individualized education program meetings in school. The IEPs were crucial to the success of my special education goals. The family attended My family attended dedicated events and extracurricular activities that I was a part of. My family's dedicated support inspired me to continue my studies. It helped me to build confidence, strong self determination, and made me feel an insider. My son is,
Understand that. Can you scroll up a little bit? You were saying that um, communication is not your strong suit, but uh, the artistic nature, right?
well, yes.
So let's bring it up on the top. So again, we always need a topic sentence, right? To kind of summarize what we're going to explain in more detail later on. So as you read those paragraphs, trying to see the main idea of it and bring it to the first sentence. Are you clear on that?
Well, yes.
How? Let me know if you have any like confusion.
Okay. Communicating with other people had been and is still a big challenge for me. I had difficulty in explaining myself to others. I often get frustrated finding the words to say. This challenge created difficulties for me to adapt to new situations or circumstances. Personally, I feel like an outsider because I have a tough time communicating and socializing with my peers or other people for most of my life. Most people understood what I am trying to say, and some are impatient to listen for my explanation. Other-
And understand the whole idea of the paragraph just by one sentence, right? Communicating with other sentence you have right there. You just need to apply it to like previous paragraph. Mhm.
Okay, other early barriers I faced growing up with special needs are absence or lack of proper assessment tools, lack of resources, unqualified and overworked teachers, attitude, social. 2 decades ago, early screening, evaluation, and diagnosis of children with special needs were unheard of. My parents struggled to find help. Getting the right diagnosis at the early stage is important to make sure children receive the services and supports they need to reach their full potential. Lack of resources and funding of educational institutions had always been a challenge. The group of students most affected by the lack of resources is students with special needs. Also, getting the support on time is crucial. The number of special education students has risen over recent years as early diagnoses have been institutionalized in our society. The number of teachers with specialized education and training has not had not been kept up with the increasing population of special education students. Teachers thus became overworked. Unqualified substitute teachers and paraeducators cannot cope and address the needs of the students with special needs. During my early years of education, my family and I had to struggle with teachers and administrators with negative attitudes towards people with special needs. I mean, students. Getting special education programs in a regular education classroom is crucial to the success of special education. Growing up with special needs severely limited my interaction and social skills. I missed a lot of personal and family milestones other people would have experienced.
Okay, this is another example of a good work, right? Just as the first sentence, I understand the whole idea of the paragraph. You were describing another barriers that you have to face growing up with the special needs, right? So very good job there with the topic sentence. Now, the only thing that I think you want to reconsider is the two last sentences.
Okay.
Yeah, because like from the topic sentence, you were supposed to say about how the lack of proper assessment, lack of resource, um, could negatively affect the people with special needs, right? But then the last two sentences, you are circling back to the interaction and social skills, which you already discussed previously. Okay, now I have another appointment, but you have a very strong, how to say, story over there. Just trying to like give a reader a hint before telling them the story, like with the scissor statement, with the topic sentence, and we can work again next week if you want to. Sounds good?
Okay. Maybe
Yeah.
let's maybe we'll end the session before 5 o'clock. But I'm going to.
Um, yeah, I have a next appointment at 4:30. So because each session only.
Well, I think this is enough.
Yeah, try to like yeah, work on. You're good.
Um, Yeah.
All right, I'll see you later, Renee. Have a nice day.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye.